Hey guys, and welcome to another First Impressions video. Today we're looking at Path of Titans, which is a dinosaur MMO currently in active development. It seems to be in fairly early access, but not in early access. There's not a huge amount of information out there that I've been able to find on it so far. It seems that the game went into full release on the 26th of November, but they are constantly bringing out new updates for it. It is basically you play as a dino and you explore the world. It's pegged as an MMO, but honestly, with the amount of people that are playing it right now, not really. But from what I've seen so far, it's pretty good, and I'm quite excited to see what they actually end up doing with it. As always, we'll look at the settings first, then we'll jump into the game. I'll show you some of the character creation that's available, and then we'll jump into the world and show you what it is that you have to do and how it works. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, so your options. There's actually quite a few here, which is really nice to see, and I must say that the game does look fairly pretty. The tones and the textures look really good on the dinosaurs. They're a little bit let down by the world, but not by too much. If you look at the graphic settings, you can have your resolution, which window mode you want, render scale. You can just type in an FPS limit, which is something you don't really see these days. I don't know whether I like it or not. VSync on or off, HDR, brightness, your graphics. Now it sets it to epic as default, but I've knocked it all up to cinematic. I've not really seen a difference between the two, so might as well have it on the highest, or at least I assume it's the highest that it can go, because it makes the age-old mistake where you can just cycle all the way through. A hard lock on the end or highest option would be nice. Also worth noting that if you do change anything, you may require a restart in order for them to hit. Now you've got smooth FPS and dynamic resolution as well. Audio, you've got your master volume, music, effects, and interface. You've got your audio quality here, which is something you don't really see these days. Again, you can go all the way up to cinematic if you so desire. Gameplay options, so you've got your recording indicator, auto recording, all that nonsense. Toggle crouch, sprint, camera smoothing. There's a lot here in gameplay, which is, I'm actually quite impressed by it. Social, you can have chat on, profanity filter, we might as well turn that off. Group invites, receive whispers, I'm going to turn that off. Own display invites from friends, only receive whispers from friends, and group name tags. This is really good. More MMOs should have this sort of a thing for your chat filters from the get-go. And then controls. Now, apparently this does work with a controller, although I have been using a keyboard and mouse just fine. It's nice that they've got controller functionality in there, and also it is worth noting that this is available on mobile devices as well, which is always good. So it's got a lot of customization there, and all the keys are actually fully rebindable, including on the keypad, which is really nice as well. So that's it for the options. Let's look at what they've got in terms of character creation, and then we'll jump into the game and see what it's all about. Okay, so if you're not used to MMOs, this is a pretty standard screen that you find once you've got a server. What I can say is that finding a server doesn't take too long. It's around 30 seconds, which, considering the amount of time that this game has actually been out, is pretty damn good. You've got your already selected character here, or you can make a new one. And then the options. You have a lot of dinosaurs to choose from. I don't know how close or realistic these names of the dinosaurs are. I can't say I have spent that much time looking at them. But there is a large range here. I don't know if it is... Yeah, it's in reverse alphabetical order by the look of this. So you've got your Allosaurus, which apparently is the newest one that came out. And then you go through to where you started. It is a bit weird with the popping when you load in. It takes a couple of seconds for the design to actually load up properly. Do apologise for the dog deciding that he wants to get down real quick. But each different type of dinosaur, you know, it's pretty good. The tail's being a bit weird here with the physics, but they look pretty realistic. They look pretty good. You can then change it to male or female, and then you can change the type of dinosaur that it is. So you can have only 2 different types. You can have, or 3 different types. You can have balanced, defense minus speed, or plus speed minus defense. They're really the only options you get in that regard. It would be nice if they added some more subtypes of, you know, maybe lower defense but higher attack, or higher attack, lower defense. You know, there's options that they could probably add in, opposed to just the plus speed minus defense. You've got 6 different color palettes that you can choose from. Honestly, though, they don't really change a huge amount. If you look over the colors that actually change, it's just general shading. And then you've got your patterns. So you've got pattern 1, pattern 2, and pattern 3. And this is the same no matter what dinosaur you choose. You've only got 3 patterns on each. Could be a few more here, maybe a bit more customization in the choice of your starting stats and how the dinosaur looks, but you do get skins that you can unlock in the game for in-game currency. You've also got your herbivores or your carnivores here as well, so there are more that you can get if you want to go for a herbivore. Bearing in mind though, if you do go for a herbivore, you are going to get hunted in-game a lot. One of the opening quests is actually to hunt a herbivore if you are a carnivore, so be aware, because it is literally dinosaur eat dinosaur world, but we'll get into that when we get into the actual gameplay. Overall, for the character creation, I'm quite impressed. I love the way that the dinos look. I think they've done a very, very good job on the graphics of that. The physics is a bit weird, and they could probably add a bit more customization in for start, but overall, not bad. Let's see what the game's like. Okay, we are in the world. You've got your chat box down here. Already we've got people calling each other idiots, because of course we do. This is my dino. As you can see, the dinos look fantastic, but honestly, the textures of the grass and the world around you isn't the best. Like, the rocks look really good, but the foliage and the grass and stuff could maybe do with looking a bit better. But again, active development game, recently released, and releasing an MMO is a big old task as it is. What is nice to see is that there are already people playing the game, which is good to see. However, as good as the tutorial is, and the tutorial is very good, once you get into the actual world, the quests are a bit sporadic and they're kind of just auto given to you. I don't know if there's a way that you can go out and actively find more quests to do. But being that it's a dinosaur sim and the map is rather large, if I go to the map here, you'll see I am all the way down here and I've got to get all the way up there. Now, the time is in real time, and unfortunately you can't move the map. It would be nice if you could move this window over to the left, or just move it around. I'm used to that with other MMOs, so having that in this game would be nice. But as you can see, there's real time ticking down that I've got to get from here to there. Now, I can only walk. There are waypoints that you can use in order to bring everybody to you if you want to play with your friends, but generally to get to where I need to go, I've got to walk there. And I'm not gonna lie, that's a bit dull. Finding other herbivores to kill is all well and good, but again, even though this is got people playing, there isn't really any markers that you can use to find those different people, and if you don't eat, you will die. If you don't drink, you will die. So you've got to bear that in mind when you're walking around as well. What this means is you've got to have a lot of patience to play this and enjoy it, right? You have to have a decent amount of patience because there's not going to be a lot going on, right? You're going to be walking around, you can sprint, you can jump, but you've got to find the flowers, deliver them, and you can only carry them one by one. You've got to find random people in the world to kill them in order to complete that quest, or you've just got to walk out and find things. Right now, what is nice is that with each quest it does come up with markers. That's good. But if we look at the markers here, you can see that's still a trek. So if you don't have a lot of patience, or if you're looking for something that's a bit more fast-paced energy-wise, you probably are going to be quite disappointed because there isn't a lot going on. Now, depending on how busy the servers can get, I don't know if that would change, right? I don't know if the thought of there being constantly people being on and hunting you and killing you and trying to eat you and stuff would add to the suspense of that. But for now, I don't feel in danger. I don't feel that adrenaline rush per se. Fetch quests are kind of par for the course with MMOs, doesn't make them fun. And the large amount of distance that you got to travel, being just a dino and being kind of simulation-esque on that, means that it's going to take you a while to get where you want to go. So, I don't know. They need to add something to that. They need to add just a bit more to give you things to do whilst you're trying to get to your main quests. Either a form of quick travel or just making the quests a bit closer to you would be good. But there's time. There's a lot of time to go to get this to the point that would be amazing. It's got a lot of potential. It's certainly a lot better, and it's got a much more active player base already than the other Dino game that I played the other day. There's a lot to it. It's got a lot of depth. It's just very slow paced. So yeah, if you want to just chill game, be a dino for a bit, run around, collect some flowers, kill some of the dinos, and log out, this is going to be the perfect game. If you want something that's a bit more high paced, if you want something that's a bit more adrenaline rushed, this is not going to be the MMO for you. But let me know in those comments down below, guys, what you think, whether this is the sort of game that you want to just chill to, or whether you are after something, like I say, is a bit more fast-paced and a bit more adrenaline-esque. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. Ciao, ciao.